Hi, my name's Tim Burge. I have alpha-1 antitrypsin. I've been dealing with alpha-1 since I was 18, and probably when I was 22 I started seeing doctors because I knew something was wrong. I was fertilizing a field with farm equipment and the chemical started in motion, but I wasn't diagnosed till I was 49 years old. It took all that time, seeing multiple doctors, to come to the conclusion that that's what I had. I got to Doc Texture, and he worked on it for several years and sent me to another doctor, to Downing, Doc Downing, and then he had me see Keith Baylor, and he's the one that actually figured out that I had alpha-1. He had a blood test done. And then shortly after that, a week or two, he had me on Glacius, which I take to a port right here. I was lucky enough to have a port, otherwise it's in your arms. And it leveled me out to where I am so I can get a lung transplant. I've done all the workup for a lung transplant. I've done everything they ask. I passed all my physicals. I'm 30 minutes on a treadmill. Actually, I do an hour and 15 on each machine and lost the weight. I'm good to go on a transplant. I just got to raise funds that the insurance won't cover, things like that, and that's kind of where I'm at. I can be listed anytime once I get a few finances in place for this situation I'm in. I've never smoked, I don't drink, I don't do drugs, or I would probably be gone already. It's rare that a ZZ alpha-1 goes to this age, because usually it gets you way before that. And there's different levels of alpha-1. You can be an SM that you make a little bit of the antitrypsin, but I make neither gene, zero, and that's why I need a lung transplant. I'm fortunate enough to be this far. It must be meant to be. If you're a young person from 5 to 30 and you have respiratory problems, I encourage you to be tested for alpha-1, because there's a good chance you could have it. A good percentage of the people that have this will never be diagnosed. It's that rare, and it's a simple blood test to save your life. If you can catch this early enough, you'll never have to have a lung transplant. If I get a successful lung transplant and I get a good match and everything goes through, I can live another 20 years. I'm a good candidate because everything else tests good. I just don't have a set of lungs. If I was in my 60s, late 60s, I wouldn't even be trying, but I'm 53 and I've got a good 20 years I can live with a good match. That's my hopes. I've done everything the lung centers asked me to do. I can be listed anytime once I get my finances where they need to be for this. In this situation I'm in, it's an opportunity to have this transplant. Nobody owes me this. It's an opportunity. If I get this, I'm going to do everything I can to respect my donor's family and not disrespect them. Do everything the doctors asked me to do to make this a successful 20 or 30 years afterwards, so the family can feel good about their family member, what they've done for another person. I couldn't get this transplant without raising this money. They won't even consider it. For anybody that has donated or is considering donated, I want to thank you very much for helping my family, mostly because it's hard on them, and myself. I'd like to thank you for the help, and I'll do what's right to make all this work. I won't have to drag this around anymore. I can't even explain how it is dragging this around. It's but it keeps me going, and that's the bottom line. You know, it's your lifeline.